Hello everybody, I'm Rental Mox, and welcome to my 2016 Summer Set Overview. By the way, in case you're wondering why I'm recording this in the mock block screen, is that the other screen, or the other, I guess paper, I want to ruin the illusion. The other actual recording place is taken up by a few other things right now, so I just had to go and use this. So yeah, let me talk about this, I guess, wave. So, and I'm not going to mention anything about story because, we have not gotten too much about the story. We have only gotten just a little bit. And that's mostly all assumption. Seriously, the only forms of story that we've gotten has literally been assumption. That's it. And of course there are the comics and little posters that we get for story. But yeah, so the sets that we get are mostly villainous, which is a continuous theme so far. With 2015 Summer Wave, we had, 4 $15 sets and 1 big set. This also stays the same, except we don't have a $15 other bad guy, which would have been nice. Instead, we get a $15 hero, which is good. I'd rather have that than another 2-character set. And that would have been even more expensive, paying for Umarak and Ikimu, especially in this case. So yeah. This theme kind of runs around with the whole control theme, because Umarak is controlling the beasts, as you can obviously tell from the colors. The only one who kind of doesn't apply to this rule is Lava Beast. And I still don't understand why. I really need a reason for why he is not affected by this. Because I understand if they were trying to make a solid color scheme. I get it. But the corruption theme is gone with him. Sure, you have the mouthpiece and the eyes. Sure, you have the eyes, which are still trans neon green, but it just doesn't work when the head isn't trans neon green. And I admit, adding trans neon green probably would have ruined his set, but it still would have given him a reason to actually be corrupted, rather than just giving us this. So yeah, now let me break down which set is my favorite. I'm going to rule out Quake Beast right away. I like what he attempts, but it just doesn't work. He ends up too small, too stubby, his arm is too loose, and yeah, he's just got too many problems to be considered my favorite. I do like the mask, though, and especially Onua's mask. And you know what? Lava Beast is solid, but his legs do bother me. Plus his weapons in general, while cool, they definitely stick out. And that's a problem I have when playing with him, is that they poke out like an eyesore. They're just, I don't know. So that, I think Storm Beast might be my favorite. Now I know build-wise he probably isn't the best, and I know a lot of people despise those hands. I don't mind them actually though. The open socket does bug a lot of people, but I can look past that. Even though, when looking at them, they do seem awkward sometimes. And even putting like a ball piece in there would have just fixed the entire problem, I think. Probably not, but it would have done something. His function is insanity, too. I love it. It's so interesting. And also, I feel bad for the functions this time around. Because in 2015, most of the characters a lot of the Skull villains got individual functions. Now, I know Skull Warrior and Skull Slicer had both gearboxes, but at least Slicer's gearbox did something different. This time around, and they were different things. So actually, let me just rule out Skull Warrior and compare Skull Slicer, Basher, and Scorpio. All 3 of them had unique new functions. Then again, Slicer's function was a bit more, it was just a gearbox that they added extra arms to, so no big deal. And it's used kind of like how Quake Beast uses it. He has a gearbox, but instead of it being added extra arms, it's flipped on its side this time. And Lava Beast, again, he really is lacking the functions. I like the sword function, but his actual like torso is his torso function is kind of unnecessary. It doesn't really fit the character. I don't know. Storm Beast is definitely the Skull Basher of this wave, or Skull Scorpio, whichever one. He has the most unique function, and he just wow, look at him. He may be spindly and stuff, but he is still such a great character. Ikimu is alright. He's the one set to actually, for once, combine a gearbox and a waist articulation piece. And I think it works okay. I think they do alright for that. Nothing against it. I think what they tried to do worked, and yeah, there's that. Also, his mask is okay. I do like that mask, and on Umarak it looks alright, but not right. Then there's obviously my favorite set. Umarak the Destroyer. He is amazing. I love Umarak. Everything about him is great. There are some problems. I think just overall, the neck cannot move except for the head, and that limits articulation because you can barely move it side to side. And for a guy like this, you're going to want to move it side to side. And he also doesn't have elbows, which sucks. I would appreciate if they gave him elbows. I think they would just made him look a lot more threatening if they gave him bigger arms. Because he looks like he could like pick up and break anything. Or literally it's in his name, destroy anything. So yeah, he's obviously my favorite set. But one last thing to talk about. Now, I would obviously recommend Umarak in a heartbeat. He's great. He's amazing. He's pretty much everything. But what if you're low on money and you can only afford one of the 2015 sets? Actually, I'll go on a scale. If you can only afford one of the sets in general, I'd say Umarak the Destroyer. If you can only afford two $15 sets, then I would say, if you are only looking to buy or can afford two $15 sets, I would say Ikimu and this is hard. I'm going to go with Ikimu and Storm Beast, only because Storm Beast's function is so fun. Not just that, he has a lot of great pieces, so if you don't want to actually use him for play or just to keep him on your shelf, you can always just build him and take apart the guy. And Ikimu, while not, I think, the best version of Ikimu, he still has a lot of interesting pieces that I would definitely recommend. And if you can only afford one $15 set, then I'll say, again, the Storm Beast. Or maybe even just Ikimu. Yeah, if you can only afford one $15 set, I'd say Ikimu. Because not only are you getting a new Ikimu, you're getting a new Mask of Creation and Translite. Woo! Woo! And it's not molded. This is like, in fact, now that I'm looking, I think this is the first all-trans mask that they used in a set. I think so. I'm trying to recall. Yes, this is the first all-trans mask that isn't melded, which I love so much because I am getting sick of melding and molding. It's getting annoying. But anyways, this is a great wave. Not the best, not the worst. It's really good. Do I think it's better than the winter wave? Absolutely not. It has some shred of looking better, but that's about it. I think I rambled for too long. Thank you guys for watching. Papa bless, and I'll talk to you guys again very soon. Goodbye.